you ever just sit next to a fire, find yourself just staring at it for hours on end? There's just something there that draws you in, makes you stare at it. After an hour, 2, 3 hours, you sort of look around and you wonder, what did I miss? You see, because the thing you realize is, while you've been staring into that light, all the darkness around you has hidden everything outside of a few feet. You have no idea what's been going on. You've just been staring. The other thing I can remember about my younger days, my much, much younger days, about 5, 6 years old, my dad would take me out in the backyard at night and just teach me about the sky, the stars, how they all worked, how the universe came to be, all this just fact and science and everything, the earth, space, how we came to be here. Now, 5 or 6, I didn't understand half of it, but I was enthralled, little kid, listening to his dad, soaking it in, sort of overwhelming the things that he was teaching me. Started to get older, I learned more about those things that my dad was teaching me. More about space, more about our planet. Some really just still overwhelmed by the way our Earth and our planet, our solar system, universe works. Crazy things. It started amazing me how we here on Earth think we are so big. Simple things like you give your girl a ring, ask her to marry you, and we think that that diamond that we're putting on her finger is so precious. It's so precious. The universe holds riches that are far beyond the things here on Earth. See, one of the cool things that happens is when a star dies in our solar system, a lot of times it burns up that hydrogen gas and it becomes this dwarf star. And when that collapses, it becomes so dense at the center. That center made of carbon. So it's heated, condensed into a diamond. A diamond bigger than our sun, bigger than Earth, bigger than anything we have. We think the Hope Diamond is so big. The universe holds riches that are far bigger. There's so many cool things about our planet. It always amazes me to think that there are nearly 7 billion people living on this planet. 7 billion people sustained by one planet. A planet that is in a perfect orbit around the sun. But it's not just the sun. See, all the other planets in our solar system, their gravity is fighting, battling each other, pushing, pulling on Earth, holding it in perfect harmony so that those 7 billion people can survive. But it's not just us. It's not just this planet, is it? It's far bigger. But it's amazing how much our planet itself holds. Billions and trillions of gallons of water. Something that NASA and our science teams around the world struggle to find on any other planet in the universe. They have to search for water, and we have trillions of gallons of it. But it goes beyond the water, doesn't it? It goes to us. It goes to animals and plants. Life. Scientists have found evidence that life has existed on other planets. Has existed. Earth is still the only planet we've found where life is still living. It doesn't sound like that big of a deal, does it? So what? We're on planet Earth. We just don't think about it very often, but when you do think about it, it really is an amazing thing. So you can fit thousands and thousands of planet Earth inside the sun. And we think, oh, woo, whoop-de-doo. I've heard that in 8th grade science class. But it is a big deal. This little planet, the only planet with life, is so small. And that's just one example. Have you ever taken that Sunday drive to go visit some family? Maybe it takes you 30 minutes, an hour. Maybe you're going out of state, it takes you several hours. If you were to drive from the Earth to the edge of just our solar system at 60 miles an hour, if you could travel through space at 60 miles an hour, it would take you lifetimes just to get to the edge of our solar system. And our solar system is nothing in the grand scheme of things. You see, our solar system surrounds one sun, and there are billions of suns just in our Milky Way galaxy. Billions of suns in one galaxy. Well, how many galaxies are there? Well, as far as we can tell, there are billions of galaxies. Each galaxy containing billions of suns. Each sun can potentially sustain a solar system of planets surrounding them. It's hard to even understand those numbers. NASA, several years ago, sent a telescope into space, Hubble. You can search the web and there's thousands of pictures that the Hubble has taken. But one of the coolest pictures that NASA scientists have put together using the Hubble Space Telescope is a sort of combined picture of the known universe. Every star, galaxy that we know of. If you go online and you just do a search for Hubble Space Telescope universe, it comes up. And the most intriguing thing about this image is that every dot, every little white dot, it looks like a giant spider web covered in dew. And every dot is a galaxy. A galaxy. are so small. We do not even comprehend how little we are. When you start to try and wrap your head around just how big all of this is, you kind of automatically start thinking about the science, all the stuff you were taught in 8th grade. And eventually you're going to come to it. You're going to come to the Big Bang Theory. It's a theory, it's a belief that our universe was created from the explosion of a black hole, a giant black hole. See, a black hole, it's a collapsed piece of matter that is so dense, weighs so much, and eventually it compacts to a point where it just explodes with more energy than you could possibly imagine. And as it explodes, that matter releases its energy and just stops being so dense, expands to planets, asteroids, suns, spread out over across the entire universe from this one explosion. That's basically the gist of it. But when you think about that, there is a lot of chance involved in that process to get to where we are today. When you think about it, it's a delicate balance here on Earth. But think all the things that had to happen to get us to where we are. That black hole of the Big Bang Theory had to explode and spread every planet and sun across the universe in a perfect pattern. So first you gotta start with, what are the chances of a black hole existing in the perfect spot, so that when it exploded, when it released all of that energy, all the planets and everything went to their initial location. Well, that's not where they are today, right? The planets, the galaxies are all moving out there in the universe. So they all had to move into the perfect position. I mean, what's the chances of that? So let's say that happened. However unlikely it is, all of that happened. Everything moved into perfect position, including our galaxy, the Milky Way, moved into perfect position amongst all the other galaxies. And within our Milky Way, there happened to be one sun that had a few little balls of rock around it. And gradually, over time, those balls of rock came into a perfect position. And one of those rocks, something amazing started happening on it. The climate started to change and alter itself over millions of years to give us our Earth. But that's not the most amazing part. That's not the most unbelievable part. What are the odds that on this planet a certain number of chemicals would come together in harmony to create life? Those are some amazing chances. I mean, to put it in perspective, we have our table of elements, all these chemicals that we can make. But as far as I know, maybe I'm wrong, scientists haven't been able to put a few of those chemicals together and make life. There's still something missing. when you really get down to it, it's an awful lot of chances. And so many people, maybe you watching this right now, we put our faith or put our belief that Big Bang Theory is right. All the chances, all the occurrences that go along with it, everything in the quote-unquote universe was right. It all came together to give us what we got today. The thing that I don't get is why, if we can believe that much chance, how can it not be also as likely that there's a God that did the very same thing? What are the chances of that? One of the greatest scientific minds of our time, Dr. Stephen Hawking, he has a theory. He's working on proving that protons, one of the smallest things inside of an atom, can actually come into existence and leave existence on their own. I mean, this even goes against science's, main theory of matter can neither be created nor destroyed. So how can this be? But if his theory is true, Dr. Hawking says, because this can come into existence, this is initially how that black hole was created. Because see, without that information, you could sit there and go, well, what created the black hole? I get that the black hole created the Big Bang Theory and our universe and everything in it, but what created the black hole? But see, with this new piece of information, Dr. Hawking can say the statement that he's said numerous times: it is because of this that there can be no God. I think that if there's no God and your belief is that what we have here is it, when you die, this is all there is. That's depressing. That is a sad, lonely existence when you have nothing to look forward to. When you have nothing worth living for. See, you could say, well, I'm living for future generations, or I want to just live my life to the fullest. But for what? Eventually, this will all be gone. Humanity will cease to exist. Science itself believes that. When it's all gone, everything you did was for nothing. I don't know about you. I think I'll take my chances with God. Maybe it's time in your life to ask yourself the question: have you been staring into the fire too long? And if you have, what have you been missing? Maybe what you've been missing has been hiding in the darkness. Maybe it's time to bring it into the light.